Let's begin the third section. So we'll adjust our range slider now so that our playback start time is about frame 245, and we'll move our playback end time just 10 frames after, so 330. So we're now working on this section here where the character has thrown the weight above his head and he's standing forward. So we're making great progress and we're just about finished. The first thing we'll do, let's hit play to get a feel of what we need to work on. And notice the character is stepping up way too slow here. He needs to step up faster. Okay, so what we'll do is adjust the character set some. We'll go there. Okay, we can get there by this a little bit faster by going to the right hand corner. And we'll just take this key on frame 311 and let's move it up some to about frame 292. So now notice when we hit play, watch what happens. Now the character is standing up a lot faster like we want him to, but also notice he's going to be holding that weight for a little bit longer as well, which is great because then he'll get to show off his accomplishment a little bit more and then drop the weight afterwards. Great. So once we've made that adjustment with the character set, we can now turn it off and begin on more of the more delicate details. So let's bring back our NURBS curves, and for one, the character, if we go ahead and hit play from here, notice the character is throwing back his feet a little bit too slow. Okay, so we want to adjust that. What we can do is select the knee controls and the feet controls, and with them selected, let's take the keys from frames 251 to 261 and let's move them down some. Oh, want to make sure that we have 251 in our selection. There we go. Alright, so 251 and 261, and we'll move them down some so that the keys now lie on about frames 248 and 258. Okay, so now if we hit play, notice the feet are going back a little bit faster, but we still want them going, landing at their planted position faster than that. Okay, so what's going to happen is the feet are going to get planted first and then the body's going to start coming down afterwards. Okay, during that time, so we'll just take this key on frame 258 and move it up some. And we'll move it up to about frame 253. So now notice if we hit play, bam, the feet go back and then the body comes down, just like what we want to happen. Great. So with that, the next adjustment we'll make is so that the left foot will get planted one frame after the right. Okay, so we'll just make a slight offset from it as what should happen. Okay, so we'll just select the left knee control and the left foot control and just take the keys from frames 248 to 253 and move them down one frame. Oh, we do want to make sure that we have this key on 253, so let's make sure we grab that and just move it down one frame. There we go. Alright, so now the right foot will plant and then the left foot immediately after. Awesome. What we also need to do is make sure that the raised ball channel is dropped a little bit faster. Okay, so we'll select both feet controls. Let's just select them both. And we want the raised ball actually dropping at about frame 246. So we'll just go to the raised ball and put in a value of 0 there. And that fixes that. Awesome. Okay, so now we can start working on having the feet planted as long as they should be planted before they start coming up. So let's start with this left foot. We can select the left knee control and the left foot control. And let's work on having it come up at the time it should. Okay? So for that, we'll go to frame 254 and let's middle mouse button click where we want it to start coming up at about frame 282. So we'll go there and press Shift W and Shift D, and we'll also key the raised ball channel and the heel pivot channel too. So now notice as the character starts to rise, we not only get this nice roll off, but the foot is coming up as it should for now, and we will adjust that roll off. We won't leave it like that, but we're getting some nice motion now. And what we also want to do is have the left foot planted for a little bit longer too. Okay, until it's time for it to move back. So let's go to frame 292 and we'll have it planted until about frame 322 for now. And again, we can go back and adjust it if we need to. But we'll just press Shift W and Shift E on frame 322 and also key the raised ball channel as well as the heel pivot channel too. We'll get those keyed there. Alright, great. So notice now that left foot is planted. And now we can begin working on that right foot. So let's do that. And we'll just go ahead and select the right knee and the right foot control. And what we want to do here is have the right foot planted for till about the time on till about frame 294, and then we're going to have the right foot shift over to get into a more comfortable position. So let's go to frame 253, and on that frame we'll just middle mouse button click on frame 292 and press Shift W and Shift D and also key the raised ball and the heel pivot channel. Then we'll take this key on frame 292 and move it down to frame 294. So once that left foot comes up, a few frames after, then we'll have the right foot shift over. Notice how that foot is kind of sliding back, and we don't want that, so we'll just have it translate in the X a little bit. So let's take this key on frame 294 and we'll middle mouse button click on about frame, let's go to about frame 299, and we'll just translate the foot over. So we can deselect the knee here, translate the foot over, and also adjust the heel pivot here to give the foot a more comfortable position. And then we'll press Shift W and Shift E to lock the foot there. Alright, great. So now we have a little shift with that right foot, and we'll also have it planted all the way until frame 322, just like what we did with the left foot. Okay, and again we can go back and adjust that the key on frame 322 if we need to, but we just want to throw it there for now. So we'll select our right knee control and our right foot control, and from 299 we'll just middle mouse button click on frame 322 and press Shift W and Shift E. Great. So with that done, we also need to go ahead and key our heel pivot channel and our raised ball channel too. So here's what we get when we go ahead and hide our NURBS curves and just play back the animation. Notice how our feet are adjusted now, starting to get adjusted a little bit more like we want them to. Okay, and the last thing we'll do to finish up this lesson is adjust the character's spring up. Because if we go ahead and hit play, notice that's a pretty weak spring up, okay? And let's even adjust our range slider some and move it back some and then hit play. Okay, so that spring up could be really exaggerated some more. So let's do that. We'll bring back our NURBS curves, and let's also focus in on our graph editor around this time. Okay, and we just want to adjust the translate Y of our center of gravity and our barbell control. So let's select the barbell, then the center of gravity, so we could have our selection handle at about the center of gravity range. And we'll go ahead and select the translate Y channels, so we can just focus on them. And what we want to do is go to about frame 261. Well, let's see. The character's springing up at, actually it's about this time at frame 250, around here. So we'll just take these keys and move them up some. So let's hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up so that the feet are lifting off the floor too. It's going to be a pretty big jump. Bam, and then they land. So here's what we get when we hit play. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. But notice if we go ahead and move up, the barbell is moving way too high, so we need to fix that. We'll just go to the translate Y of the barbell right here, and we'll bring it down some so that it's still on the character's chest. Okay, so zoom in and then just bring down the character's barbell so it's still lying on his chest. Alright, and when we scrub through, Notice it's lying on the chest like we want it to. Great. So with all of these things done, now we can go ahead and hide our NURBS curves and just do a play blast to check out our adjustments. So we'll find a nice view. How about from right here? And render one off. Here it is. Alright, great. So we've got the timing of when we want our feet to come up. We do need to work on their steps, but for right now, that's looking good so far. And we've also got the character really leaping up for that spring up. But we also have to adjust that area too with the barbell because that's going up too slow. So we've got a few more things to do to finish up this area. But for now, that does complete this lesson. And in the next lesson, we'll just continue to work on this section.